Hi, I'm Grant. I've worked at Silverman Marketing for 12 years now, climbing from junior copywriter to senior creative director. Or at least, that's what my business card should say. Reality's a bit different. Morning, Grant, Sarah said, sliding into the chair across from my desk. She held 2 coffees and passed one to me. Richard took your spot again. Third time this week, I said, accepting the cup. I got here at 7:30. He must have arrived at 7. That's dedication to being a jerk. Sarah shook her head. You know what really gets me? He parks in your reserved spot, the one you pay for, and acts like he's doing nothing wrong. Every time I mention it, he says the same thing. Sarah raised her voice in mock imitation. Oh, Grant, I'm sure it was just a mistake. You know how early mornings are, besides executive privilege, like that's even a real thing. Yeah, well, I took a sip of coffee. It's just a parking spot. Is it though? Sarah leaned forward. Because yesterday, I heard him telling the Dennison clients that the revolutionary concept for their campaign was his idea. Your concept, Grant, the one you spent 3 months developing. My stomach dropped. What? I was walking past the conference room. Richard was in there with Mr. Dennison and his daughter doing the whole song and dance. I came up with this approach, he said. I knew traditional marketing wouldn't work for their demographic. He didn't mention your name once. That presentation's tomorrow. I'm supposed to be leading it. Not anymore. Sarah pulled out her phone, scrolling. Check your email. He sent it at midnight. After careful consideration, I'll be presenting the Dennison campaign personally. Grant, please prepare all materials for my review by 8 a.m. I opened my laptop, and there it was. My 3 months of work, my research, my creative vision, all being handed to Richard to present as his own. Sarah, this isn't the first time, is it? She looked away. No. Tell me. The Morrison account last year, he told them the tagline was his. The Westfield rebranding, he presented your entire strategy deck and put his name on it. Grant, I thought you knew. I knew he was taking credit here and there, but it's not here and there, it's systematic. Sarah glanced toward Richard's office. Marcus and I have been documenting it. We weren't sure if we should tell you. Why wouldn't you tell me? Because Richard controls your promotions, your raises, your entire career trajectory here. We didn't want you to do something that would get you fired. I sat back processing. 12 years. 12 years of arriving early, staying late, pouring my creativity into campaigns that built this company's reputation. And Richard had been stealing credit the entire time. The parking spot, I said quietly. What? It's not about the parking spot, it never was. It's about him establishing dominance, showing me and everyone else that rules don't apply to him, that what's mine is actually his whenever he wants it. Exactly, Sarah stood. Look, Marcus and I have been talking. We think you should... Grant! Richard's voice boomed across the office. My office now! I walked in, and Richard was leaning against his desk, arms crossed. He was 58, silver-haired, with the kind of smile that never reached his eyes. Close the door, he said. We need to talk about your attitude. My attitude? I've been getting reports that you're not a team player, that you've been complaining about parking arrangements, questioning my decisions, creating a negative environment. Who reported this? That's not important. What's important is that you understand your role here. You're talented, Grant. I'll give you that. But talent without teamwork is worthless. Do you know how many people would love to have your position? The position where I do the work and you take the credit? His smile vanished. Excuse me? The Dennison campaign. That's my work, Richard. 3 months of research, strategy development, creative execution, and you're presenting it as yours. I'm the creative director. Everything that comes out of this department is ultimately my responsibility, my vision. You work under my guidance. I'm the senior creative director. I don't work under your guidance. I work alongside you, or at least I'm supposed to. This attitude is exactly what I'm talking about. Richard moved behind his desk. You need to decide if you want a future at this company, Grant, because if you keep this up, I'll make sure you don't have one. Is that a threat? It's a promise. He sat down, dismissing me. Now get those materials ready for tomorrow. And Grant, park on the street from now on. I'll be using your spot indefinitely. Executive privilege. I found Marcus in the break room 20 minutes later. He was younger than me, maybe 30, with the kind of energy that made him impossible to dislike. Sarah told you? He asked immediately. Some of it. She said you've been documenting things. Man, we've got everything. Emails, witness accounts, timestamps. Marcus pulled out his phone. Here, this email from 8 months ago. You sent Richard the complete Westfield strategy at 11 p.m. on a Thursday. The next morning, he presented it to the client at 9, never mentioned your name. Jennifer from HR was in that meeting. Jennifer knows about this. She knows Richard takes credit for other people's work, but he's careful. He never puts anything in writing that directly claims ideas are his. He just presents them. And when pressed, he says everything's collaborative, that he guided the process. I scrolled through Marcus's documentation. It was extensive, detailed, damning. Why hasn't anyone said anything before? Because Richard controls everything, Marcus said. He approves promotions, raises, project assignments. Cross him and you're done. People have tried. Remember Angela? She left last year. She didn't leave. She was forced out. She challenged Richard on the Patterson campaign, said he was stealing her work. 2 weeks later, she was written up for performance issues and attitude problems. She quit rather than be fired. The door opened, and Sarah walked in with Jennifer from HR. Jennifer was in her 40s, always perfectly professional, always by the book. "Grant," Jennifer said quietly, "can we talk? Somewhere private?" We went to a small conference room. Jennifer closed the door and sat down heavily. "I need to be very careful about what I say," she began. "But I've been with this company for 15 years, and I can't stay silent anymore. Richard has been exploiting a loophole in company policy." "What loophole?" "The creative director position has broad authority over departmental output. Technically, he's not required to attribute individual contributions in client presentations. The policy was designed to protect the company, not to enable credit theft, but Richard's been using it to his advantage." "Can't you report this?" "I have, multiple times, to upper management, to the board. But Richard brings in revenue. He's charismatic with clients, and he's very good at making it seem like he's the one generating all these brilliant ideas." "So, there's nothing we can do?" Jennifer hesitated. "Officially, no. But unofficially? I've been keeping records, every complaint, every incident, every piece of evidence I can document without violating policy. If you ever decide to take legal action..." "Legal action? For what?" "Hostile work environment, possibly fraud if he's signing documents claiming work as his own. But Grant, that's risky. It could take years, and you'd probably lose your job in the process." Marcus leaned forward. "There might be another way." "What way?" I asked. "Richard's retiring in 3 months. Did you know that?" "What?" Sarah nodded. "He announced it yesterday in the executive meeting. He's got a retirement package and everything. Apparently he's been planning it for a year. So he gets to ride off into the sunset with his reputation intact, his retirement funded by work he stole from his team." I felt anger building. "And we just let him?" "Or," Marcus said slowly, "we make sure his retirement isn't quite as comfortable as he planned." "What are you thinking?" "I'm thinking that building this office is in, the one with the parking spots, it's for sale. Has been for 6 months. Owner wants to retire, liquidate his assets. And maybe someone should buy it, someone who understands the value of proper parking arrangements." Marcus grinned. "Someone who could be Richard's landlord for whatever comes next." I stared at him. "You're serious?" "Richard lives in that condo complex on Riverside Drive, right? The expensive one with the ridiculous HOA fees? He's always complaining about it. What if he can't afford it once he's retired? What if he has to downsize?" Sarah caught on. "There are apartments in this building, residential units above the offices." "Exactly," Marcus said. "And if Grant owned the building, he could make Richard's life very interesting," Jennifer finished. She looked at me. "I shouldn't be encouraging this, but Grant, I've watched Richard destroy careers for 12 years. If you can do something, anything, to make him face even a fraction of the consequences he deserves, I'll help however I can." 3 months later, I stood in Richard's office as he packed his belongings into boxes. His desk was nearly clear, his walls bare. He looked older somehow, less imposing. "Grant," he said, forcing a smile. "Come to wish me well?" Something like that. "Look, I know we've had our differences, but I hope you understand. Everything I did was to push you, to make you better. That's what leadership is about." "Is that what you call it, leadership?" "I made you who you are today. The skills you have, the reputation you built by claiming my work as yours." Richard stopped packing. "Grant, I don't know what you think. The Dennison campaign, the Morrison account, Westfield, Patterson, Hartley Industries. Should I keep going? Because I have a list, Richard. A very detailed list with timestamps, emails, and witness statements." His face reddened. Those were collaborative efforts. Really? Because I have the original files, all my work, all my research, all my creative concepts, and I have records of exactly when I submitted them to you and exactly when you presented them to clients as your own ideas. You're being dramatic. This is how business works, Grant. The person at the top steals from the people below them? That's how you think business works? I gave you opportunities. I kept you employed when I could have fired you a dozen times for your attitude. My attitude? You mean my refusal to let you walk all over me? The parking spot, Richard. Every single day for years, you took my parking spot, the one I paid for. And when I asked you to stop, you laughed. You said, executive privilege. It's just a damn parking spot. No, it wasn't. It was you establishing dominance, showing me and everyone else that rules didn't apply to you, that what was mine was actually yours whenever you wanted it. Richard's hands shook as he gripped the edge of his desk. What do you want, Grant? An apology? Fine. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about the parking spot, about taking credit, about all of it. Is that what you want to hear? No. No? Your apology means nothing. You're not sorry for what you did. You're sorry you got caught. You're sorry that your reputation might suffer. You spent 12 years building yourself up by tearing me and others down, and now you think saying, I'm sorry makes it okay? Grant, please. I'm retiring. I'm leaving. Can't we just what? Part as friends? Pretend the last 12 years didn't happen? I'll make it right. I'll write a recommendation letter. Tell everyone about your contributions. You'll what? Give me credit now that it doesn't matter? Now that you're walking away with your retirement package and your reputation intact? What more do you want from me? I pulled an envelope from my jacket. This is notice that your rent is increasing, 30% effective immediately. Richard stared at the envelope. What? I bought this building 2 months ago. You live in apartment 4B, correct? The one bedroom overlooking the park? His face went white. You bought the whole building. Congratulations, Richard. I'm your new landlord. You can't do this. I can, actually. Your lease is month to month, and the new rate is completely legal given market conditions. You'll find all the documentation in that envelope. This is revenge. This is business. Isn't that what you always said? That this is just how business works? Richard's shock turned to anger. You smug little. I'll fight this. I'll sue you. I'll make your life hell. Go ahead. I have excellent lawyers. And Richard, if you threaten me again, if you harass me or try to sabotage me in any way, I'll file for a restraining order and evict you immediately. I suggest you adjust your retirement budget accordingly. He lunged forward, grabbing my jacket. You think you've won? You think, let go of me, now. I'll destroy you. Sarah appeared in the doorway with building security. Mr. Grant, is everything all right? Richard released me, stepping back, but the rage in his eyes was unmistakable. Get out, he said. Get out of my office. Your former office, I corrected, and I'll leave when security escorts you from the premises. As of 5 p.m. today, your access to this building is revoked. Have a nice retirement, Richard. The police report was filed within an hour. Richard's physical aggression, his threats, all documented with witnesses. Jennifer, Sarah, and Marcus all gave statements. 2 weeks later, I sat with Sarah and Marcus at a coffee shop across from our building now, technically. How's the new creative director position treating you? Marcus asked. Strange. Good strange. The team actually gets credit for their work now. Revolutionary concept, Sarah said dryly. And Richard? He hired a lawyer to fight the rent increase. Lawyer took one look at the documentation and told him he didn't have a case. Market rate comparisons, legal notices, everything by the book. He tried to call me last week, Jennifer said, joining us. Left a voicemail asking me to testify that you were harassing him. I sent it straight to my lawyer. He won't stop, will he? Marcus asked. Probably not, but he also can't afford to keep fighting. His retirement package wasn't as generous as he thought, and with the new rent, he's struggling. I heard he's been applying for consulting jobs. No one will hire him, Sarah said. Word's gotten around about what he did. Angela heard about everything and sent emails to half the marketing firms in the city. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. Can we talk, please? I know I don't deserve it, but I need help. Richard. I showed it to the others. What are you going to do? Marcus asked. Nothing. He had 12 years to talk, to treat people with respect, to do the right thing. He chose exploitation instead. He'll try again, Jennifer warned. Men like Richard don't accept defeat easily. Let him try. I have documentation, witnesses, and legal protection. But more than that, I have something he never had. What's that? A team that actually respects me. People who know the truth about where good work comes from. I looked at each of them. Richard thought the parking spot was about convenience. It wasn't. It was about power, about putting me in my place. But he forgot something important. What? Eventually, someone you step on learns to step back. And when they do, they take everything you thought was yours with them. Sarah raised her coffee cup. To parking spots. To parking spots, we echoed. My phone buzzed again. Another text from Richard. I'm sorry, I'll do anything, please. I deleted it without responding. Some apologies come too late, from people who are only sorry they face consequences. Richard would spend his retirement learning a lesson 12 years in the making. Respect isn't something you take, it's something you earn. And once you've lost it, no amount of pleading gets it back. Have you ever dealt with someone who constantly took credit for your work? What would you do in Grant's position? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, please like, subscribe, and share with someone who needs to hear it. Justice delayed is justice denied. But sometimes, it's absolutely worth the wait.